Hey, gonna be commentary for chapter 49 of my book Metadimensional, which you can find on Kindle, listen to for free as an audiobook. Links are in the description. Chapter 49 is called Underwhelming Evidence. Now, before I continue, at this point, I don't know who's gonna watch this. It's not gonna be anytime soon, because no one's watching this at the moment. Maybe something will change in the future. So, yeah, I don't know how much time has passed since anyone from the time I'm making this and to the time anyone's watching. But hello, future people. Okay, so if you just land on this part of the book, you could like come to the conclusion it's crazy. It's like it's so wrong. It's wrong on so many levels. It's just like it contradicts everything that everyone says. It contradicts everyone that smart people say. It contradicts what common sense says. It's, you might say it's sloppy because it's not, for whatever reasons, and yeah, and just like say this is like worst of everything, something like that. Look, the way I got to making statements about metatemporal evolution, about the private blind gap, about it came from I just followed the same methodology I was going to use from the get-go. Like I said, okay, I have my two axioms, that experience is fundamental and that the rejection of solipsism. I consider all the evidence that I have, like specifically the one that really opened everything up is the double slit experiment and superposition in general, but the double slit experiment shows it. And from that point on, I just followed the reason, what's called from first principles, you might say. Just followed the rationale and got to the point where I understand this. And I understand that we are living in like the reality I live in is personal, is mine. When I make a choice, any choice, even the choice not to make a choice, by having intentionality, by mattering, by my experience mattering to anything, I change the reality I live in. That's has to be. That's necessary. Beyond, outside the laws of nature, and the laws of nature are like everything I see in my reality obeys the laws of nature. So if I'm going to find now, when you are analyzing this, like what I'm saying, you think, yeah, where's the evidence? But you're looking at evidence which has to be consistent with the laws of nature in your current reality. And I'm saying you're switching between realities, so between versions of the wakeful world, between versions of both the contents and the laws of nature. Why? Well, because that's the only thing that you know, like the fundamental dimensions, the objective substrate. You cannot. It's not part of experience by definition, so you can't know it. So you don't know what of the dimensions and what of the contents is actually real, and not just your reflection, just your impression. So you're not gonna find evidence for this, not because there's something especially bad about my arguments. It's because this model of reality will not have evidence, will not show evidence. It has to not show evidence, because if it did show evidence, then you'd then that would not make sense. If you had, like, let's say, two versions of the laws of nature walking side by side within your reality would just nullify. Things that need to be in one place would be in another place. Things that would need to behave, that would go left, will also go right. Reality would just not exist. So you're looking for evidence that can be there if reality is like this. If you look for evidence, I mean, it's not like, but then again, it's not like you necessarily will not find evidence for this, but you really have to relax your expectations about what kind of evidence you're going to find, because it's not like the ability to, like, all this structure of reality as it emerges from analyzing what we know from science and the two axioms. It's not that this has been created to fool you, or to believe that reality is one thing which it's not. It's just how it is. So you could find some traces of the reality as it was before. You won't find proof of the fact that reality changed. Like, let's say, when you make a choice, you won't find proof of that. I mean, the best proof you found was the double slit experiment, and that didn't persuade anyone. So what more? Like, you're only going to find circumstantial evidence, underwhelming evidence. And then you're going to find the double slit experiment. You're going to find superposition, and you see that your theories just break down. And unless you embrace this theory, which is basically these two axioms, and just look at what you find in science and figure it out, you're going to be stuck here forever. While this theory, well, it offers the solution already, but you won't find the evidence. You just have to get used to the fact that the evidence you're looking for is not there. But then it goes, but this is one way of looking at this. The other way of looking at it is, if I say that you assume that this theory is correct, that these two axioms are correct, and what I deduce from it is correct too. Now look at reality again, and then you realize that it's not that it's hard to find evidence of experience changing reality. Experience changes reality all the time, and all the things that we see all the time, like whenever we see some kind of a story, let's say science fiction, that precedes the science that makes it possible, like, say, the communicators in Star Trek, or rockets on the moon, or robots, like intelligent robots, and then you see it in reality. You should look at it and say, even though I don't have the evidence for it, it's more likely than not that to realize that those early science fiction novels or memes, the laws of nature had to change, and they were changed. It's the other way around. They always change. Every choice you make changes the laws of nature and the contents of reality to some extent. That's what you should invert the way you analyze reality, instead of like doubting the theory all the time. Once you accept the theory, you should doubt the certainties that you had prior.